moment. Hold on. There. That should do it. Got you on this support pole. Ow. Then I've had some coffee and some aggravation in my life, so I feel kind of peppy right now. So I decided to read this thing, the thing I got in the mail. And so, yeah. So I'm skipping down here to step 2. Important, it's called. Let me read you. Bring your ID. Yeah, okay, we got that part. It requires making IDs are required for many things, like making certain purchases, going to 18 plus panels, entrance to the 21 lounge, and the customer service assistance for badge issues. Age restrictions, blah blah blah. All right, now this is the important part, like why I turned this on. So the prohibited items and other policies section. Stilts. So I guess that springy guy. I guess he's out. That's considered spring stilts. Let's see here. Weapons. See weapons policy for cosplay prop restrictions. Drones / UAVs. Illegal substances. Stickers. Adhesives. Signs. Non-service animals. Helium and mylar balloons. Lasers. Coolers. I think that's a bit much, but okay, fine. Maybe a tripping hazard, possibly. Of course, the last time anyone had anything that's a container of some sort, which was a empty, if I remember correctly, an empty paint bucket that they bike locked, the wiry ones, not the U ones, to the rails, and people thought it was a bomb. It's like, no, it's just an empty paint can they just left tied during lunch in the lunch area. The guy just forgot he left his pail behind. That's it. That's all it was a prop for cosplay. Yes, that happened. Oversized backpacks, bags, go-karts, or motorized vehicles. Wheeled carts. Now, let me stop there real quick. Now, when I read that part, it says no wheeled carts or wagons. So, all the time and effort I put into getting this thing ready. I don't know how well you can see that, but if you see that pretty well, that's the wagon that I was trying to get everything ready and try to put a lid on it. That's what that silver part is. You can make that out in this lighting. There we go. Sorry, there's still a lot of stuff on the floor. Crying out loud. It's my old Mew card from 89, or 89 I think it was. I believe this is the one I got when I went to the movie, because they were handing these things out, I think. Or around that time anyway. But yeah, it's an old 89 Mewtwo card. Mew versus Mewtwo. The next Pokemon movie. Yeah, so that thing. I took it out of the foil because you know what card you got. I have a couple of others that you can kind of tell what they are. Anyway. So that's up in smoke, because it would be a tripping hazard, because the exhibit hall is very, very crowded. But my initial thought was, well, I need something to carry the hall I'm going to get, because I'm going to take me a good couple other bucks with me, which I've been saving with my tips. So, therefore, that's a thing. So, it looks like I won't be taking that particular wheeled wagon with me, or cart. Darn it. So, I'll be having some shoulder pains throughout this, because I'll be hauling this thing. I'm going to the exhibit hall first, and then all the panels, and AMVs and whatnot, and possibly a few premieres. Hopefully, Jobless Incarnation Season 2. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed on that. Fingers crossed on that. I don't care if it is subbed. I'm still gonna go see it if I can. So, yeah. And a couple other premieres, if they have it. Hopefully in English by then, too. Uh, but anyway, yes. Confetti, flammable liquids, and open flame lighters. And then it has step 4, when I'm skipping to, Anime Expo has arrived, it says. Tips. Now, this is what really caught my attention, too, was it has tips. Okay, must have items. Bring comfortable shoes. Okay. Sun protection, snacks, water, and a battery charger. Double check the prohibited items. Good thing I did. Otherwise, I'd be dragging that thing around and probably would have to have confiscated. When I came back from the expo a couple of years ago, and I had to, because I was working at Disney at the time, I used to be a janitorial for contract services group. Hi, guys. Jesus. Anyway, Jesus. I would use my ID to park in the Simba parking lot, which is the furthest, most northwestern parking lot you can get in Disneyland. So I would have to walk through downtown Disney to get to the bus stop on the other end of the block, and then take it to the Staples Center and back again. So when I got back, sometimes, because I would do this, get there at 4 in the morning and come back at like 6, 7, 8 at night. One time, jeez, I can't believe this actually happened, because I always liked it. I had it, and I got a chance to use it. Barely had a chance to use it. My selfie stick was confiscated by downtown Disney security when I was going through the checkpoints, because this was after something or other a couple of years ago. They were starting to say to put in checkpoints, so they did. Why now? Don't know. They just did. And so one of the things that is prohibited is a selfie stick. Because reasons, I don't know. Maybe people were misusing them for whatever nefarious purpose or something. I don't know. But I said, look, if you want, you can walk with me through it. I'm just walking through to get to my car. If you want, you can walk with me. But the guy's like, no, we're taking this. And then so I'm like, fine, whatever. I'm tired. I want to get home. I'm tired of walking. So it's the last 200 yards before I finally get in my car and go home. It's like a 11-minute drive to where I was at the time. So, yeah, having that happen to me was just really annoying, because it's like, I wanted to use that, dude. I finally had the time to use that, and I barely used it, and then they took it from me. So it's like, I don't know what they think I would do with a selfie stick. I don't know. But yeah. Battery charger, double check for items, weapons policy, and cosplay guidelines. So it's a good thing I checked that, otherwise I would have this thing taken away from me. And then I'd be stuck without much of a plan. I have a plan, so go in with a general plan, because you can't go into a specific plan. You gotta have it generalized, because everything can just go completely there. Getting there. Parking is available at the LA Convention Center, LA Live, and nearby independently operated lots. That's dirt lots, by the way. For more information about parking and transportation options, please visit, etc., etc. Lanyard programming guide and badge pickup, it says. Pick up your lanyard program guide, swag bag at South Hall, West Hall, and North Plaza entrances. There'll be 3 entrances. Interesting. South Hall, North Plaza. Well, at least it's 3 now instead of, I think, the usual 2 or 1. Uh, Registration hours Friday, June 30th. That's 5 days, not. There must be a day 0. It's 10 p.m. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that Friday. What I normally would say, registration hours Friday, June 30th, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. I would say try to get there early, and then because you don't have anything to do that day, just spend the day in line, kind of familiarize yourself with the area and how you're going to get there. Do your trial and error if you can, since they are showing that they have a day 0. Uh, do a trial run, a dry run. Say, okay, if if I have all 4 days or whatever days you have, use day 0 as your bench test. See, okay, how do we get down there? What's the plan? Morning traffic's like. What streets to go down there? What's the best efficient way to get there? Do I turn left or do I turn right? It's a one-way street. Do I have to go down the street and turn left, or should I go down the street and then turn right? Figure all that out when you have time. So you just spend the day getting all of your unknown answers and X factors just out of the way. So you familiarize yourself with the area so that when you're there on the day you want to be there, you say, all right, I've learned all my lessons. You get off at this exit, you make the second left, and then boom, you're there. And it's like, we pull in here, we pay the $5 or $20 for parking for the day. Boom, done. Walk in, I know exactly where to go, and just get there with the least amount of issues possible, because there will always be a good fair amount of issues. And if you're not a regular, and if you haven't been to this convention or anything of this size or kind, or if this is your first time, it's best to just, like I said, go to day 0 and just get it all out of the way, so that when the day comes when you do go there, which would probably be the next day or whatever, that you're more prepared to handle the morning situations or the arrival situations, so that you just walk in a lot easier than bumming around and wasting time saying, I don't know where this is or where that is. Where's this? What's that? Being turned around and just wasting tons of time. I deliver for a living. So trust me when I say being efficient and knowing where you're going and getting it right the first time is key. Because people don't like waiting. And wasting a lot of time is not efficient for anybody. It doesn't help out anybody. And when it was like right behind you the whole time, it's like, oh, so right there. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. So that's what day 0 dry run would be. Just get it all out of the way. 20 years experience here. Sorry, 23 years experience. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Once you get inside, what you're going to want to do is do not buy food there at the convention center. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Why? It is ferociously expensive. Why? Because they charge you, standard hot dogs. Just standard straight hot dogs, right? The ones you buy from the store, you put on the grill, you grill them up. The size smaller than that. Not the ones in the can, but somewhere in between. Those are $7.50 each. I'm not making that up. And you heard me correctly. One year I went to convention, like 5 years ago, something like that. I handed the lady a 20 and I said, 2 hot dogs, please, thinking it might be $5-ish, something like that. Right? You would think. I go to 7-Eleven and those things are like $2.50. So why wouldn't it be like $3, right? Right? I mean, why not? And the lady hands me back like, is it like $5 out of 20, and says, here you go, sir. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I handed you a 20. How do I get back 5? That's like $15-ish that I'm suddenly now out of. It was supposed to be about 5, not 15. So why is it 3 times as more expensive than going to 7-Eleven for a bigger hot dog. That's what they do. They charge it so much. And I'm like, well, if you want to, you can look at the receipt, sir, and it'll show that you're, the amount that you're being purchased for. It goes, no, I believe it because I'm being ripped off. That's why I believe it. I took the hot dogs and I ate them. People, things tend to get more corporate than they really should. Customer experience is key. That's why they keep giving us these rules so that everyone can have a fun time. Bring the kids. But at times it can get a little too corporate, a little too bottom dollar, Yeah. You probably you would have a better time going to possibly the food trucks. I tried going there. I couldn't really get into it because I don't know what the hell these things are. 100%. What was familiar, what isn't. I don't really go outside my comfort zone too often. I really should, but I don't very often. But I'm trying to make a change. So try the truck food. Usually they have them in a herd. Usually depends on whether or not they have the parking lot there. If it's sold out for the food trucks or just for parking, I don't know. But if you see a fleet of food trucks, try it. Maybe you'll find something reasonably priced. What is rather interesting are the somewhat illegal, but rather convenient and tasty and very well priced, might I add, street vendors. Yeah, they pull in with these little makeshift carts and they fry up burgers and hot dogs, hot links, wrap them in and everything. They just throw everything on these things. You give them $5, they give you the big ones. Fruit sticks and churros and yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen them, stand there as the buses pull up and people file out and they walk past these things. I saw like 5 of them all just lined up right there on the sidewalk, and people were buying. I even bought a churro once. Fantastic. You just stand there and you get able to buy these things for $5 or less. You get a decent little, snack, not snack, but like meal to go on a stick. And yeah, so those are the people I kind of more recommend because you kind of get more bang for your buck. You don't feel quite as cheated as you do, regretfully, at the stands they have set up at the convention because they charge too much because it's just trying to be this special event. So they charge more. At least they did back in those couple of years. Maybe it's changed. Maybe they decided to be cheaper. I don't know, but price gauge and find out. Well, if they charge $7.50 each for a smaller hot dog, and I could get a regular full size hot dog over there for $2. Where are you gonna go? To the place that's cheaper. So, yeah. Or, I mean, just thinking out loud here, you could just go down to the local burrito shop day before and grab a couple of burritos, pop them in the fridge, and then just take them with you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna bring me some burritos from the local burrito place on the street. They're good burritos. Very filling. Be prepared for security checks and bag inspections upon building entry. For the latest information on health and safety guidelines, please visit blah, blah, blah. Additional aid needed, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I mean, these are good tips. I mean, comfortable shoes, sure. Because like I said, you're going to do a lot of 3 things. Sitting, standing, and walking. Sun protection, that is true. Not every line outside has an awning, especially back then, but they kind of more do now. But yes, skincare is paramount. Snacks and water, yes, and a battery charger. Yeah, so all those things, because they do have a multi-charger station at the expo. They brought that in a couple years ago too. It is nice to have to charge your phone with. Problem is that it's crowded like crazy because they only have one, one attachment each. So it'll be like one of this, one of different type, and then one different type, one different type. So they have you covered with all the different types, but it's quite a crowd line waiting for your turn for someone's phone to be charged. You're sitting there primarily for like an hour until your phone is mostly charged or charged up before you finally say, okay, I'm done. I could disconnect my phone and then leave, and then wait for the next person to start charging their phone. So it's a bit of a inconvenience waiting for that service. As convenient as it is, don't get me wrong, I really like it. But yes, taking the battery charger with you so you can battery charge your phone on the go when you're not using it, like between panels or during a panel. I'm saying between panels. Uh, like when you're watching a panel and you don't need to have any flash photography at the moment or videotape anything, and you can just let it charge in your bag or pocket or whatever while you're doing that. It's a good idea. Probably should get me one of those too, since I'll be using this thing. And my other phone, wherever that is at the moment, I'll find it eventually. So yes. So so being kind of lost my place here. Uh, so being that as things as they are or may or whatever, be prepared. Like I said, it's like invading a small nation. Do your homework, think things out, have a plan, have a battle strategy. Because trust me, when you're there in the moment, you will realize whatever minor mistake you made or major mistake you made, and realizing, oh snaps, now I'm stuck here, and I should have done this and made this a little bit better, perhaps. Maybe bring an umbrella, a small portable umbrella, in case your line doesn't have an awning, and it's like you put on the sunscreen, but you're still stuck in the sun. So probably would be best to bring an umbrella that you can just click, boom, and it shades you from the sun. Um, and be prepared. Yes, this will happen at some point, but when you're in line to go into the South Hall, there will be somebody who comes down the street raving and ranting like the mad person that they are. I have on my GoPro, I have this lady who kept knocking over signs and was carrying her bag down the street, just babbling incoherently. A couple of years ago, a guy came down the street with a Viking helmet on a bike, a regular pedal bike, and he started kind of stopping and yelling at the line, and then he pedaled off. So trust me when I say, be prepared to have crazy LA people or street LA people coming to yell at you. Yeah, so just be prepared for that. I think that's everything. I don't know what else to say other than try to plan. But again, like I said, just do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. Otherwise, I could have been lugging this thing all the way down there, only to have it be taken away from me at the start. It could have easily have just have happened. So don't let little minor oversights kind of f up your day. All right. I mean, do your, like I said, homework, homework, homework. You know, have a battle strategy. Think everything out. Plan out your day or your days. Try to make things easy for you as much as possible, because this is a slog. It is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. So pace yourself well and plan everything else. You're not stuck. Oh, I should have brought a snack now, or food, or water, or whatever have you, because they're not always easily supplied in every part of the convention. Sometimes they do give boxes of bottled water to people in line when they come in from outside from registration. They have done that before, which is rather nice of them, but it's not always abundant everywhere across the convention. So, bring water, bring snacks, bring uh, the Red Bull or something. Bring everything you can plan out to bring to make your trip a memorable one and a less aggravating one. So it'd be easier on you. You know, and that's really all I can say right now at this moment. I am getting a bit more excited. I woke up either yesterday morning or yesterday morning with like the feeling of the song from Pete's Dragon, a dragon, a dragon. I swear I saw a dragon. Where it's like that, where you kind of feel like this little bit of a pump, like just, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So it's nice to feel that. Nice to feel that excitement. And I'm going to try to have fun. The past couple of years, I haven't had a whole lot of fun because I've been trying to deal with all my problems and my economic situation and my shitty used cars. And now I have money. Now I have a savings. Now I have a plan. Now I have 2 jobs. Now I have everything I need to make my life a lot easier going forward. And that's kind of what you need to do with this convention, is try to make things easier for yourself. And, I guess I'll stop there for now for the tips. I'll give you more unknown tips later on. What you can do. All right. The littler things. Single use stuff. Anyway, that's from Fight Club. All right. So take care, all. And remember, see you at the convention. Bye.